To graph a sine function, you use the formula written on the board, which is A for amplitude, sin to show that it is a sine function, b, which you get using the period formula, which is 2 pi over b, x, which is the value that you're going to plug in later on, minus the horizontal shift, and then you just add or subtract the vertical shift. The domain of a sine function will always be positive, while the range of the function will depend on the amplitude and the shifts of the formula given. To determine the maximum and the minimum points of a sine function, you just add or subtract the amplitude to the vertical shift. A sine function will always start on the midpoint, then go to the maximum point, then the midpoint, minimum, and so on. For example, this is the graph, and then mid, max, mid, min, and so on.
And what you have to do first is you have to sketch the graph and sketch 6 a.m. which is one of the hours, 18, which is 12 hours later, and 12 hours later 6 a.m. You're going to graph your minimum, which is 97 Fahrenheit, and your maximum, which is 99 Fahrenheit. At first it says that at 6 a.m. you have your minimum, which is 97 Fahrenheit, so you put a dot in there. 12 hours later is your maximum, you put your 99 in there. And 6 a.m., which is 24 hours later, you have the same, which is 12 hours, which is in your minimum, 97 Fahrenheit. Then you're going to sketch your graph, and it's going to get something like this. After that, you're going to have to find your amplitude. Your amplitude, you're going to find it, finding the average between your maximum and your minimum, which is 99 plus 97 divided by 2. It's going to give you 98. And by that, you're going to sketch your in the middle of the graph, and you're going to find how much spaces it goes up and how much spaces it goes down between your maximum and your minimum, which is 1. So your amplitude is going to be 1. After that, you need to find your period. To find your period, you have to find 2 points that are on the same level, and in this case we're going to find the ones that are at 97 Fahrenheit, which are at 6 a.m. and 6 a.m. and we have to find how much time passes between them, which is 24 hours. So your period is going to be 24 hours. The next step is to start writing your sine function. So you already have your amplitude, so you're going to write y equals your amplitude, which is a 1 sin bracket, and you need to find your v. So to find your v, the formula it's b equals period equals 2 pi over v. So you're going to replace your v because you already have your period, and it's going to be 24 equals 2 pi over v, which is the same as v equals 2 pi over 24. So you just solve for v, which is pi over 12, and you plug it in the function. So it's 1 sin bracket pi over 12, your x minus your horizontal shift. To find your horizontal shift, you're going to look for the average between 6 a.m. and 18, which is 18 plus 6 divided by 2, it's 12. So your horizontal shift is going to be 12. And after that, you just need to find your d, which is the middle between your maximum and your minimum, and it's 98. So there you go, and you have your sine function ready, and you completed the problem.
So for the first part of the problem, they're asking us what is the temperature at 9 a.m. We know that the lowercase t stands for the temperature. So we first rewrite the equation, replace the 9 a.m. inside the t, the lowercase t. We rewrite the equation in the calculator, and the answer should get 16 degrees Celsius. So for the second part of the problem, they're asking us to get the maximum and the minimum temperatures and sketch a graph. So we know that to get the maximum, we use the formula d plus absolute value of a. So d is 19 and a is 6, so we just add 19 plus 6 and it gives us 25 of the maximum. To get the minimum, we use the formula d minus absolute value of a. So we just replace d with 19 and a with 6, 19 minus 6, and it is 13 degrees Celsius of a minimum. We then proceed to start graphing to get our table of values. In the first number that we're gonna plug in the table of values is the horizontal shift, and we know, given by the equation, the horizontal shift is 11. And to get the rest of the x values, we need to get the units. The formula to get the units is period divided by 12. So in this case, the units would be 6. So if we add 11 plus 6, then we will have 17, and then so on. Now to get the y values, we have to replace the x values in the equation. So we're gonna replace every x value inside the lowercase t. We then proceed to make the actual graph, plug in the points, and we should get a sine function. Now for the third part of the problem, they're asking us to get the average temperature and the temperature at 10 p.m. So for the average temperature, we take the maximum and the minimum, add them and divide them by 2 to give an average of 19. Now to get the temperature at 10 p.m., we just replace the 10 in the lowercase t of the equation, plug it in the calculator, and the answer should be 20.55 degrees Celsius.